Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the New England Patriots and going over whether or not they should trade for cornerback Xavien Howard. But before getting that topic, question for those of you who want to hear from the Patriots fans. Who do you think today is the best New England Patriot not named Stephon Gilmore? I want to hear your thoughts on who you think it is. Stephon Gilmore, I feel like would be an easy pick for a lot of people. So who is the next best guy you think? Comment down below and I'll give my answer at the end. But getting straight into it, right away, you would likely assume the Dolphins don't want to send Xavien Howard to the Patriots, their biggest rival, and then he just beat them twice a year. He beats them in the playoffs. You don't want to see that happen if you're the Miami Dolphins, but if the price is right, everyone does have a price, a tipping point, a fine line of which they're willing to cross. To me, a reason the Patriots would be interested is they like to sign all-pro corners. They like to get all-pro corners. Look what Bill Belichick did with Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore was a great cornerback, but before he was with the New England Patriots, but when he got there, he's all of a sudden a top 5, top 3, the best cornerback in the league, winning Defensive Player of the Year. Bill Belichick gets the absolute best out of his corners. Look at J.C. Jackson, look at Jonathan Jones. His defense is always going to be good. Xavien Howard, right now, I feel like he's in the realm of top 5, top 3 corners. I think with Bill Belichick, he could be the number 1 corner in the league, and I think he's young enough. He's in his prime. I think the Patriots are interested in moving off of Stephon Gilmore, maybe working with the secondary they got without him. But I think they would be open to getting a guy like Xavien Howard, a guy that's entering his prime that could hit the next level of Bill Belichick. And again, Dolphins, why would they do this in their own division? Reason being is because I do think the Patriots have the biggest thing they can offer. They could swap Stephon Gilmore and Xavien Howard straight up. Obviously, Xavien Howard, I think, is a little bit better than Stephon Gilmore at this point in the career. He's younger. He's in his prime. Stephon Gilmore's 30 going on 31. And just based on their last seasons, Stephon Gilmore had I don't want to say an awful year, but he did drop off. He got banged up a little bit. Xavien Howard, he had 10 interceptions. I mean, clearly different seasons, so I would definitely tip my hat towards Xavien Howard for the better corner for now. That doesn't mean Stephon Gilmore isn't a blockbuster name that Miami would be satisfied keeping, because they wouldn't only be getting Stephon Gilmore, they'd be getting Stephon Gilmore and a pick or so. And Stephon Gilmore could fill the shoes of Xavien Howard in the sense of still having a number 1 lockdown corner league. If Xavien Howard's top 3 corner, Stephon Gilmore's probably still top 5, top 6, top 7, around that range. You know, guys in the league, Jalen Ramsey, Jair Alexander, Xavien Howard, Marlon Humphrey, Tre'Davious White, Stephon Gilmore, those top 6 guys are all within the same realm of talent, in my opinion. There might be a different teardrop here and there between a couple, but still they're all pretty close to the number 1 guys in the league. So therefore, Miami could still be intrigued because they could still get a guy that would keep them in contention to make a playoff run, to make a deep playoff run, to win the division, to make a Super Bowl run. Who knows? But if you trade with the Cowboys, if you're the Dolphins, yeah, you might get more picks, but then you lose a big spot on your secondary that just has a hole there. Yeah, there's Byron Jones and Javon Holland and Jason McCourty, but you're just getting draft picks that will, of course, come into effect in future years. But as of today, as of this season, you have a gap that won't be filled, and you might be taken out of contention, losing that type of player on your team. As far as the Patriots goes, you'll be getting some picks that will, of course, come into effect in the future, but you'll also be in contention this year. And that's why I think Miami would bite their tongue and allow the trade to happen if New England was offering, Stephon Gilmore and a first-round pick. He's not going to come at just like a player-for-player swap, just Xavien Howard coming off the better year, being much younger. Both of them are having contract situations. You have to just hope the other team, Miami, would be willing to give Stephon the money he wants, and you have to hope the Patriots are willing to give Xavien Howard the money he wants. It's hard for me to see this division rival making a trade happen, but I just think with the players on the line, it is more likely than we think. Do I think it's a great shot? No, but I also don't think it's this 1 in a million chance. I just think Brian Flores kind of knowing Bill Belichick, I feel like that somewhat connection can maybe help things in the slightest way. If anything, it can't hurt, in my opinion. Overall, do I think this will happen? I'm not sure. I would bet on it, but I would definitely be intrigued to see it happen. Xavien Howard would be a huge addition to the Patriots this year. Him with J.C. Jackson, Jonathan Jones, Devin McCourty, Kyle Van Noy, Dante Hightower, Devon Godshaw, Christian Barmore, Matt Judon. That's going to be a top 5 defense this year. The offense, have my questions, but Cam, he's going to have more experience, more reps with the Patriots to me. I don't know how good he will be, but I know he can't be worse than last year. I assume he will only be better, just having more experience, having more weapons. The offensive line is stout. Backfield, you could be critical if you want between Damian Harris and Sony Michel and James White, but the Patriots never had a number one back in the league. That they just don't need one. That's just not their style of play. They don't many a times without a power back of a Nick Chubb or a Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey. They've won plenty of times without guys on that tier, so I don't really want to get critical there because that's just not their style of play. Receiving room, I still have my concerns about the actual receivers themselves. I like the double tight end threat in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, but I'm not sure Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers, and Kendrick Bourne are gonna get it done. I think they're better than last year, that's for sure. N'Keal Harry's kind of wanting out. I'm not sure how that's gonna end up being. Maybe he will be in the trade with the Patriots and Dolphins. Maybe here's N'Keal Harry, here's a Stephon Gilmore, here's a first-round pick. Done. We're not giving any more. That's 2 starting players and a first-round pick just in case one of them get hurt or one's a whiff. You have some capital to work with in Miami. Chris Greer, he's been making moves after moves this year. Maybe this would be another one that will go down in his favor. I'd like to see Miami keep Xavien Howard, and I hope they do, and I assume they will try their best to work it out. But if he is forced onto the trading block where Miami is not budging on the money deal and they're looking to move him, I wouldn't count out the Patriots as much as people may think. Again, not betting this would happen, but I would be very interested in if it does. And who's to say, maybe the Patriots are like, we don't want to give up Stephon Gilmore. We want to give them both their money. We'll give Stephon Gilmore his money. We'll give Xavien Howard his money. And now we got both. We'll give Miami an extra pick. Here's 2 first-round picks and N'Keal Harry. Now you got a top 3, maybe top 1 defensively if the Patriots can manage it right. Having Matt Patricia back, having Bill Belichick, that's going to be a dangerous defense if you have in all the same secondary. J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore, Xavien Howard, Devin McCourty, Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, Matt Judon, Devon Godshaw, Christian Barmore. Then we're talking about a team that Cam Newton's there or not. Well, they might roll with rookie Mac Jones. They might roll with the 3rd string, Jared Stidham. Someone's going to win a lot of games with that type of defense on the same team. Stephon Gilmore and Xavien Howard would be crazy to feed off each other. That would be also another possibility. I don't know if Miami would be up for that because they're just asking to lose to the Patriots, but who knows. 2 first-round picks, a starting receiver, and maybe throwing in an extra one to sweeten the deal. Here's a 3rd. Miami might have to be like, yeah, we might have to fight this for a year. We might struggle for a year, but in time, we're going to turn around and be the better team when the draft picks come into play. Who knows? I'm excited to see it. Not saying it will happen, but I am for it. And referring back to the question today, who I think is the best player, not named Stephon Gilmore, I would probably give it to someone on defense, Dante Hightower, J.C. Jackson, Matt Judon. I'm a pretty big fan of, but he's new to the Patriots, so it's hard for me to say. I would probably go, I like J.C. Jackson a lot. I might be a little biased just because I like him personally. I don't know why. I just root for him a lot. Dante Hightower, you can make the argument. Matt Judon, you can make the argument. I'm going to pick J.C. Jackson. You guys tell me, though, who's your pick. As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.